when rainy conditions create a mess on the roads in Sarasota or Manatee County. Trust ABC 7 to help you navigate.
You were right.
It's going to happen again tomorrow, too, so get used to it.
ABC 7 First Alert Weather and Traffic, only on your local station.
And now on ABC 7 News at 7, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will have the latest on weather across the Suncoast. Plus, Suncoast communities coming together to make donations to help victims and families suffering in Haiti after that devastating earthquake. All that and more now on ABC 7 News at 7. All right, Suncoasters, you are looking live at downtown Sarasota on this rainy Monday evening. Is it raining right now? I'm not looking bad right now, but it's hit or miss these days. So we're going to get the scoop on that later. But first, I want to say hello, everyone. Good evening. I'm Nerissa Lamison, and welcome to ABC 7 News at 7. I've been talking to my pal here, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan, joining us now with a look at the weather across the Suncoast and a look at the tropics, because we're not done with that yet.
Right. We're just getting into the peak. I just put out a special video on our ABC 7 First Alert Weather app. It starts now basically and through mid-October when we're going to see the bulk of the storms. Seems like we already had a lot. Well, we got more coming our way. Here is a look at what's happening right now. This is Fred and what's left of Fred. Fred continues to weaken. On the southern end, there's no rain. Again, the feeder bands pushing through parts of North Florida. Even our coast had some rain. Nerissa, you were right. We had some showers and storms around, but those are, for the most part, winding down as Fred loses its strength now. Let's go and take a look at it. Made landfall right around Port St. Joe. 3:15 this afternoon. It's already up into the northern portions of the panhandle of Florida. Heavy rainfall through Georgia and Alabama. That's going to be a big issue, too. Flooding likely all the way up through Tennessee as a result of this storm. Not over yet. Now, as far as we're concerned, we've had some showers pushing on through occasionally this afternoon. Those showers are starting to get closer again to Anna Maria. We'll put it in motion and show you those storms again pushing off toward the northeast. Look out for this one heading toward Pinellas County now. So we'll keep a 20% chance for showers in for the next several hours. Nerissa?
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Bob. Local missionaries sending relief to Haiti after that 7.2 magnitude earthquake on Saturday. Right now, more than 1,400 people dead, several thousand injured. One organization along the Suncoast has jumped into action to help those in Haiti. Sarah Charles and her husband, local missionaries who are currently in Haiti, say people are sleeping outside now as they are afraid of potential aftershocks. Another major concern comes for the smaller communities that go unnoticed. Sarah says luckily where they are wasn't so bad.
In the streets, because everybody, of course, is not wanting to stay indoors. And luckily, our area, it seems that we noticed rather quickly that our area wasn't hit as bad as what we were hearing coming out of Kai's. Lakai got hit much worse.
Also, an Agape flight pilot flew down and said the feeling in the atmosphere was pretty tough. And Agape CEO Alan Spear will be down in Haiti Thursday to see the damage and find out what is still needed there. Now to some developments on coronavirus cases here locally, as nearly 200 cases have been reported on school campuses across Manatee County in just 4 days. This morning, the school board held an emergency meeting in Bradenton off Manatee Avenue. School board members moved to approve a mask mandate at least through the middle of next week with an opt-out option, and that meeting, however, went on for several hours as board members heard from parents on both sides of this issue. Board members know they cannot fully mandate this without the opt-out option, and because of the executive order from Governor Ron DeSantis. As board member Gina Messenger says she saw no sense in this motion or order, considering it would still technically be optional. But board chair Charlie Kennedy expressed an order will push parents in the middle to put masks on their children, but he says understand there's probably going to be some pushback from parents who decide to opt out. So what is their goal with this?
When the rubber meets the road on our school campuses and kids are showing up in sometimes crowded classrooms, the overall goal, I think, of the board majority was to just find any way we can to increase mask wearing.
Kennedy says they are doing what they can to minimize transmission of the virus at schools across the district. A Manatee County commissioner has been hospitalized with COVID-19. Kevin Van Ostenbridge, currently undergoing treatment at Blake Medical Center. He is in stable condition, we're told. He received the Johnson & Johnson vaccine back in June. In a statement, he said, quote, "I want to thank my family and friends for the support they've shown, and I look forward to returning back to work to represent my constituents." A multi-million-dollar drainage project is well underway in the northeastern part of Manatee County. The community of Ribonia has been dealing with flooding issues for years now. ABC 7's Rick Adams joins us from one of those neighborhoods with more on this. A 33-year-old Mayaca City man was killed in a head-on crash in rural Manatee County earlier today. This is according to the Florida Highway Patrol. They tell us around 5 this morning the man was northbound on County Road 675 north of State Route 64. As his SUV was rounding a curve, he crossed the center line and collided with a truck. The SUV driver died at the scene, and 2 Bradenton men in the truck suffered minor injuries. The crash is still under investigation. And a Bradenton man is facing armed robbery charges after allegedly holding up a tattoo parlor while posing as a police officer. According to the Manatee County Sheriff's Office, the suspect entered a tattoo shop in the Whitfield industrial area on August 4th. This was around 9:30 in the morning, and he asked to get a tattoo. The shop owner then told the man he was busy and come back later. Around 3:20, 3 men wearing masks and carrying handguns entered the shop and said they were officers from the Bradenton Police Department. The shop owner recognized one of the robbers as the man who came into the shop earlier that day. When the shop owner denied having money, he was hit in the back of the head with a handgun. 41-year-old Smith Jr., Keith Smith Jr., identified here as one of the suspects after surveillance video shows the license plate of the cars used in the robbery. He was arrested on August 13th and charged with armed robbery. We're going to keep you updated on this story on air and online on mysuncoast.com. Okay, coming up, the tooth, Megalodon. I can never pronounce that. Bob, help me. Megalodon, big shark, tooth found off the coast of Venice. That's where you, oh, look at that. That is huge. Stay with us.
7-day forecast sponsored by the Gettle Automotive family of dealerships. Gettle's got it.
Let's eat, baby. Come on over, you guys. Dinner is on me.
ABC 7 First Alert Traffic is sponsored by Venice Toyota. See why people all over the Suncoast are buying their Toyotas in Venice. Shop VeniceToyota.com now.
And welcome back. Shark tooth hunting is a popular hobby, from small teeth found on coastal beaches to underwater dives in search for a Megalodon tooth. Well, over the weekend, one lucky person in Venice struck gold with a mega find while diving. Look at this. Sam Martinez Jr., that's a tooth right there, folks, describing the dive as the day he dreamed of, the day he found a 5 3/4 inch Megalodon tooth. That's a tooth, folks. Came across this large prehistoric tooth while diving with Aquanuts scuba diving charters just about a mile from Venice's shore. In a post on Facebook, Sam said, quote, "Even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while, and today was this blind squirrel's turn." I like that. Look at that.
You dream about it, you daydream about it, you know, you go through it in your mind. Oh my God, one day it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And then when it does happen, and you just can't believe it. And I just, the thing I'm most glad about is that I have it on video. I can always go back to my 2-minute video and just relive that exact moment and the adrenaline and the pure joy of just being that kid that found the golden egg on an Easter egg hunt.
It really looks like a shoehorn. Sam says he has found about 20 intact Megalodon teeth, but none compared to the dream of this one, the size of this one. And on top of all of it, he found it within 5 minutes of searching. So when you get it, you get it. Congratulations. And if you're a fan of the most magical place on earth, Christmas may not be the best time to visit if you're trying to save money. Disney lovers will need to pay more to attend Disney's Very Merriest After Hours Christmas party this holiday season. Starting prices are nearly twice as much as Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, with tickets ranging from $169 to $229. The event was canceled last year, of course, because of the pandemic. It runs this year from November 8th through December 21st and requires a special ticket. And sticking with Disney, the company is unveiling new costumes and role-play wheelchair cover sets for kids and adults. Company officials say these adaptive features allow Disney fans to transform into their favorite characters. Look at that. The costumes have stretch fabric that opens in the back and is wheelchair friendly. The 2021 assortment includes characters from Raya and the Last Dragon, Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, and Hocus Pocus. And we know COVID cases are surging, especially in the southern states. More than 140,000 new COVID cases nationwide were reported Friday and Saturday. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the very latest. The California County's Health Department pointed out that it is not necessary to have a letter from a church to qualify for a religious exemption. An individual can sign their own declaration form that explains that the worker is declining vaccination based on religious beliefs. Well, coming up, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will have the latest on our First Alert weather forecast. Stick around.
Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. The Suncoast's most accurate forecast is powered by the most precise technology in our area. ABC 7 First Alert Weather's Titan Radar. Sponsored by Conditioned Air.
All right, big storms just offshore of Anna Maria. You can see that right there quite clearly. These folks just kind of watching it right now. The high waves generated from those storms off in the distance. Those are going to miss Anna Maria. It looks like very close, but heading toward Pinellas County, making for some tough driving along I-275 in Pinellas. Fred fades away as it's over land now. It's lost the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico, and you're going to see how it cooled down some waters too. Return to afternoon thunderstorms. Begins tomorrow, stays with us all week. Boy, it's humid out, and it's going to stay that way. It's going to feel much hotter than it has been, 100 and 105 degrees. There's that storm I just showed you on the radar. Again, that's pushing off toward the northeast. Couple of lightning strikes, very heavy rainfall heading right toward Pinellas County. Now, we could see a few pop-up showers here through the evening. That's why I put a 20% chance in there. I wanted to show you again what's happening with the latest as far as our weather is concerned. And we're looking at the rainfall totals today. Not a whole lot of rain fell across the area. You can see that, but the heaviest spot was near Anna Maria Island, up to 2 inches there. Lesser amounts. In fact, Siesta Key didn't see much at all, just a little bit of a sprinkle there. Parrish got a little bit of rainfall, but not a whole lot. We'll look for more scattered late-day storms tomorrow, but not everyone's going to get the rain. Reese is back for the second half hour right after this.
Time and Temp sponsored by your local Honda dealer.
Hello, I'm Wendy Ross with ABC 7's Suncoast Health Experts, and we know that keeping your family healthy is a priority for you. So we've gathered a variety of healthcare experts across the Suncoast to help guide you in that process. Thank you for being with us, Dr. Kiernan. As a retina specialist, what symptoms do you treat?
Well, Wendy, I treat a variety of causes of blurred vision for diseases in the back of the eye, including diabetes, retinal detachment, and macular degeneration.
I understand that macular degeneration is the #1 leading cause of loss of vision in this country for people over the age of 60.
That's true, but the good news is there's treatments available now that can stabilize or even improve vision loss from this disease.
What treatments are on the horizon?
Well, right now the gold standard is to inject a medicine into the back of the eye every month. Soon there'll be treatments available where you can have less frequent injections every 2, 3, or even 4 months. In fact, there's another treatment, a surgically implanted reservoir that will allow treatment as infrequently as every 6 months. So stay tuned for this and many other exciting developments that will soon be offered by us doctors at the Eye Associates.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kiernan. And for more information, please visit sightforlife.com or visit mysuncoast.com/healthexperts.
Welcome back to ABC 7 News at 7:30, and now to Afghanistan, where the Taliban has taken over Kabul, the capital city. More scenes from the city's airport as thousands of people try to flee the country. Here's the latest. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby says there are no indications that the individuals at the airport who fired on United States troops were members of the Taliban. Now on to New York, where a dangerous gunman opened fire at a playground this morning. Playground is located in Brooklyn. It's where 4 men and 4 women were caught in the line of fire, according to New York police. Witnesses say minors were at the scene but were not hurt. The victims were taken to a nearby hospital and they are expected to be okay. No word on an arrest and no details on a possible suspect or suspects, but there was a note that a music video was being filmed in the area sometime after midnight. And now to Chicago, where a 70-year-old woman was fatally shot in her car this morning. Here's the full story on that. News from just south of the border. At least 22 people were injured today in Mexico after a building explosion. This happened in Mexico City, according to the head of government of Mexico City. 6 of the victims were taken to a local hospital. Authorities say the culprit seems to be a gas leak somewhere on the 2nd floor, which led to an explosion. They also said that more than 300 people in nearby buildings had to be evacuated to safety as a precaution. Coming up, we're going to have a look at the tropics with our very own chief meteorologist, Bob Harrigan. Stay with us. The death toll from the devastating earthquake in Haiti is still rising, with more than 2,800 people injured and hundreds still missing. Aid is already pouring in, as we spoke about earlier. ABC's Alex Stone has the very latest. Really so hard to look at all that. And then on top of that, on top of all that devastation, getting pounded by weather and Fred, now Grace knocking on the door.
It's there. I mean, it's bringing heavy rainfall. The center isn't quite there. I mean, it's to the south, but it doesn't need to be. It's on the right of the center. And unfortunately for all those people doing the search and rescue and trying to, just survive there, it's tough going. Yeah, look at this. Satellite imagery showing this huge area of deep convection just riding right over Haiti. And you can see all that rainfall right there just exploding, and that all kind of curling around to that area of low pressure. Unfortunately, the rain isn't over for at least the next 6 to 8 hours as it moves off to the west. Life-threatening mudslides now they'll have to deal with for the night tonight and tomorrow morning. Tropical depression Grace. Now this could be the 2nd hurricane of the season as it makes its way over some very warm water in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico. There's the forecast path and track. On Friday we left and that cone was right over South Florida, so things have changed quite a bit. And it looks like it's going to stay to our south as high pressure builds in and works its way over Florida. There's the forecast cone of uncertainty. It's fairly certain that it's going to get in the southwest Gulf of Mexico, where water temperatures are about 90 degrees there. And although it's projecting as a 75-mile-an-hour storm, I got a feeling it's going to be a little higher than that just because of that warm water. Well, there goes Henri. Henri's going to be around for a short period of time as it kind of rotates around Bermuda and heads off eventually into the open waters of the Atlantic. And the radar here is showing that big storm I mentioned earlier now moving in Pinellas County. Pretty quiet around the rest of the town. Inglewood getting some showers there right now. Light rain, not a lot of heavy rainfall at this point. I don't anticipate much. We may see 1 or 2 lone showers popping up here through the rest of the evening, but some light rainfall occurring between Inglewood and Venice. Well, the forecast is calling for all this to move off to the northeast. Rough weather into Pinellas County, stretching off toward the Gandy and Howard Franklin Bridge. Going to be tough driving in that location. And the extended forecast, humid weather Tuesday and Wednesday. Weekend's looking nice, though, shaping up to be okay. We need to dry out a little bit. We're still going to see some storms around. Norris is back right after this.
7-day forecast sponsored by the Gettle Automotive family of dealerships. Gettle's got it.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to help us help the hungry.
And welcome back. One major asset company in Midtown Manhattan is making a major change and embracing a hybrid working model. Okay, well, that is all the time we have for this evening. Make sure to join us again for ABC 7 News at 11. Until then, I'm Norisa Lamison. Thank you so much for joining us and have a great night.